Oh, okay. I think I'll do this video in a bunch of little pieces. Keep them under a minute each or something like that. And so this is just to say this is a video with a bunch of pieces under a minute or so. Yeah, there's no point in having general subjects. There's no point in talking. There's no... People are impossible. They're idiots. They're assholes. They can't communicate in rational language. They just don't have a clue what we're caught up in. What's happening here to these sentient beasts. The whole game. The game. They don't get it. They don't understand it. They're just being played. They're just dumb pieces. Yeah. Fuck. Oh, okay. I guess the word is empathy in a Akakantabad video. And asking the question, can you be too empathetic? Well, if it is a zero-sum game, if all of life is just made out of a negative and you're just digging your way out of it, I suspect there's no such thing as too much empathy, actually. There is too much insensitivity, that's for sure. There's too much. You can't be too insensitive, certainly. That's quite obvious. But too empathetic? So yeah, just turn the question around. Just ask the right question. Can you be too insensitive? Can you be too unaware of price? Too ignorant of implication and risk? Yes, you certainly can. Can you overappreciate risk? I don't think so. Yeah, risk is never a good thing, right? All right, anyway. Yeah. All right, I saw a TED Talks video on disgust. It was sort of interesting. But they took it in a stupid direction. That they basically demonstrated that people who are easily disgusted tend to be more conservative or more Republican. People less disgustable seem to be liberal and Democrat or whatever. And yeah, that sort of makes sense. So that's not a big, huge surprise. But the whole idea of the psychology of disgust is sort of interesting. What turns us off and what turns us on, what motivates us, what compels us, the ego. But all these emotions are essentially the same emotion. We've just given them different words, but they're just perversions of the same thing. It's all about attraction and repulsion. These are the forces that move people, attraction and repulsion. And underneath it all, there's really just repulsion. We're repulsed by the negative sensations of want and need, lust, desire. All these things put us in a negative state, compelling us to move to a positive state. Not complicated. Some asshole family with their little brats. Yeah, I might as well mention Fred's bathtub video. I don't know if it will stay on YouTube. Haven't looked. But anyway, I listened to it anyway. I'm all for nudity and whatnot, so don't get me wrong. I'm not opposed to it at all. People should freely express themselves. Yeah, all over the place. What the hell? It's a video. You can't get herpes from a video, I don't think. But anyway, but the content was just such drivel. I mean, 4 hours of, crap. I mean, it's just crap. Where do we go after we're dead? Blah, 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 blah. Metaphor. Blah, 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 blah. Ugh, Christ. Yeah, I could fall down right now, hit my head on this rock, and I'm gone. And I could be gone permanently. You're gone temporary, you're gone permanently, you go to the same place. You're gone. That's where you go. Gonolia. That's where you go. Gonolia. People. Atheists. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Disgusting. I just don't know how I want to keep grinning and bearing it. Fucking idiot asylum. I mean... Whoa, I guess I'll make this a YouTube update video. What the hell? I think about it. So yeah, there'll be updates and stuff. I'll do that update thing with our videos on the website. A couple of good economics videos, I think. A couple of them anyway, pretty good, I think. But I can't seem to provoke much of a war. Comments are always so stupid, simplistic. You gotta go over and over stuff. I mean, just simple concepts people can't get. It just amazes you. They make everything complicated. Every single thing. Now, you have to go through every single detail. Yes, the money is made out of paper. The paper has threads in it. The government puts anti-counterfeit things. You just have to go through all this crap. It's like, oh, fuck you people, you're too stupid. Anyway, till next time. And such. I did see a little bit of a Magic Sandwich show. Listen to a little bit of that. And Tenderfoot and these DPR Jones, and they were talking about the PZ Myers thing with that concordance guy. Well, anyway, and Tenderfoot is such an idiot. I mean, he's talking about YouTube like it's social infrastructure. As the guy who used to complain about YouTube, before it blew his cock really nice. And it's just, he's talking about how the thumbing up system works really great at getting all the really relevant comments to the top and, this kind of shit. And you're just like, what the hell? What planet is this guy on? The whole popularity engine. These people who talk about letting people comment freely, it doesn't matter. All right, if you got a channel where you're getting more than 200 comments, yeah, why bother? I wouldn't even bother reading them. So why would I care what somebody posted then? But if you have a video with 10 comments on it, those comments have a loud voice. They get to contextualize, they get to frame, they get to set the agenda, the context. They create a context for the video. And to argue that context doesn't matter is idiotic. To argue that somebody's saying booger, right in the middle of, whatever, one small step for a man, one giant leap for man, booger kind. Yeah, no, it doesn't work anymore. And that's all these hecklers are. They're just hecklers. They draw attention to themselves. All right? I don't go advertise myself on their videos because they don't make videos. So, I mean, it's just a silly, stupid argument to say it's some sort of free speech right. They have the freedom to make videos. I make videos. They want to argue? Make a video. What the fuck? All right? I mean, I have no obligation to exchange comment turds. I have no desire to shit in somebody else's living room. So I'm going to tell people, you can't shit in my living room. I mean, fuck. Not complicated. But Thunderfoot's a moron. But he basically said that if people want something besides YouTube, they would just create it. Oh yeah, we're just going to snap our fingers and all the people will migrate to the new resource. Yeah, no one's afraid to take on Google. And that shows how little he knows about the real world. William Randolph Hearst. Okay, here's a name for you. Thunderfoot, go look it up. And go figure out how monopolies work. Retard. Gee, you're dumb. Fucking PhD moron. Anyway, I went over my times. Alright, yeah, I'm running out of segment time. And I figured I'd make a segment, but I really don't have a word. So, yeah, I really blew it. I was thinking about radiation, actually. I was thinking comparing suffering to radiation. If suffering actually had a nature like that, where people were really afraid of it hurting them. If somebody else's pain could hurt you in more direct way, like poison you, or mean that you'll live less long, then maybe people would have more respect for it. But it's the fact that it's completely contained in the other person makes it so convenient for us to exploit somebody else. Like if slaves gave off suffering radiation, that would poison you over time, people wouldn't have owned slaves because they would have wanted to avoid the suffering radiation. This is really a pretty good metaphor-y thing. I should make a whole video on this concept, right? It's a pretty interesting concept. It's just unfortunate that suffering is only poisonous to the person enduring it, directly. You have to kind of choose to be bothered, which people don't choose to do. Yeah, interesting. Alright, so see you on the way home and such, and so forth. Alright, a lot quieter now. Yeah, it really is. Kind of lovely here, also. Really, quite nice. Anyway, just things rolling through the brain. Vultures, just saw a turkey vulture. And, you're seeking out a living, just vulturing, prey, carnivore thing going on all over the place. Just do. Yeah, that's creepy. It really is creepy. It's creepy. Underneath all this, it's creepy. It's creepy. It really is. Anyway, creepy bugs. They do make an awful lot of noise, though. It really is bizarre, the life cycles of bugs. So unusual, so strange. Really are. They're so much more interesting, almost, than, the big animals. They have such, very different ways of approaching the life game. Such different kinds of hardware. Really is, they're underrated as machines. Underappreciated as machines. It's all horrible and awful, but I just mean, just the mechanisms, the varieties, just amazing. Yeah, that's enough. Whoa, I'm back. Just think about the economic stuff and how I have to make a better argument, better presentation. So some people, some smart people, but they're really not that smart, can better appreciate what the consequences of wasted labor. The kind of labor you do, that service kind of labor that gets eaten up and swallowed up, consumed. Most of the labor for the wealthy, making their yachts. Lots of jobs, but it's all waste work in a sense that doesn't do anything truly productive. Not much social value, not much human happiness is gleaned out of it, not much human comfort is produced for a preposterous amount of work. And that the real workers, the people doing real good work, basically have to pay that bad worker's salary out of their productivity. They have to be so productive that they pay enough money to for these rich people to glean this capital out of them, and then be able to re-engage that capital into producing this waste work. But if we didn't have these rich people wasting our money, we really could live a pretty, it's always relative, but really be pretty cool if all we had to do was work 2 hours a day to maintain the lifestyle you have now. And I'd argue that that's probably very close to the truth. If we got rid of the waste work, we could either be really, really productive by doing more work, in the 2 hours. We could double our productivity, or we could, have how much time we have to spend making enough money to live. But that's a whole nother video that could be made. It's just how many hours people have to spend to maintain their existence. And if they had the freedom to do other things, they might do really great things. I would argue that some of the best work I do is thinking, but I don't make any money doing that. And there's so many things I'd love to have the time to be able to think about. The physics stuff and, just the whole social engineering subjects. I'm very good at that stuff, I think. I'd love to be able to spend more time doing it, but practicality demands that I feed my existence. But anyway, and such. Whoa, yeah, I'm back. Really shouldn't be. But this tree, I sort of like this, whatever this is. I've never gone to the trouble to find out what it is. I don't know what it is. But I like it. I like the color. It's not really pink. It's an off pink. And it grows right around in this area, but you don't see it anywhere else. It's always been there. It doesn't get very big. It's just kind of neat. I mean, I notice it every year, for 25 years or whatever in the fall. And I really should plant some around the house or something. I just haven't. So it's kind of stupid of me. But we do stupid things. So many things, if you could relive your life, man, there's just so many trees I would have planted. So much I would have done differently, just knowing that I lived, and that you don't even really think that you're going to live, and so you don't invest in these things because you don't think you're going to be around in 20 years. And then when you are, you're sitting there saying, well, damn, I wish I'd done a few things different, taken advantage in a better way, made for my prepared, for life in the future. And it is hard to do sometimes. And it's a real failing of the human race. Something that should be pointed out to them a lot is this danger of, short-term gain, compromising long-term interest. Which really is it's got us into this whole huge deficit spending thing. All this stuff is always a huge compromise of the future to fix a present problem. And, it should be unanimously agreed that that's not responsible. It's not logical. The human race has no reason not to be willing to invest in the future, especially all these life lovers. They really have no excuse at all not to sacrifice their current welfare for the future interest. And yet they seem, paradoxically, ironically, to be the most selfish. Doesn't make much sense. You love life, yet you'll squander its welfare you'll damage its future for your personal gain. Doesn't sound right. You love children, yet you'll sentence them to live in a dirtier world. Yeah, no logic there. So, enough of that. Perfectly reasonable subject, though. It should be the end of the outside bits. Green moss. Cool. Turd. Yes. Ooh, it's a turd. I wonder whose turd it is. It's a little one. Something scurvy and such, I bet. Anyway. Oh dear. I don't believe I have a subject. Green moss. Yeah, green moss. I like moss. I do happen to like moss. Sort of almost died. Yeah. I almost die a lot. Especially in the last 10 years. I've almost died like a million times. But I didn't. And wonder why. So I guess I wasn't that close to death, actually. There'd be no reason for me to not die if I was almost dead a million times. Yeah, so I guess I wasn't that close. But they do seem close. It's like you could trip, and there's a stick, and you can impale yourself on it. But for some reason, I don't get impaled. I just come close to impalement. Yeah, I guess that's the way it worked out. Lucky me? I don't know. Unlucky me? I don't know. But whatever. Chair. And, yeah, I think we're done. Alright, so we'll do one little segment about the wonderful videos on the Do Not God website and call it a day and such. Damn. I got so much to do. I ain't doing it. Alright, anyway. Alright, back. Do this quickly, just a quick run through, just to make sure it's a update video. Alright, so I did start a new series, Akant Avad and Pedophilia. Yeah, version 1. Yeah, I'm gonna, for every video he does on the subject of antinatalism and depression, I'll do one of these, because it just seems fair. You know, he's just slandering the subject of antinatalism in the first place, always associating it with depression, as if that's supposed to mean something. Yes, you know, anti-nuclear power people are just being gloomy. Is that what we'll say? I mean, if you're anti-coal, you're just a gloomy Gus. You know, who's just getting in the way of progress. I mean, it's just a disgusting tactic. And then all of his videos, like, well, not all of them, 80% of them, have nothing to do with antinatalism, the subject of whether or not it's ethical to impose life on children, ethical or even wise, or even by any definition justifiable. To perpetuate the existence of living things is the question, and his argumentation is never on that subject. So, fuck him. So, yeah, I'll slander him. I mean, I'm going to defend antinatalism. It deserves to be defended against people slandering it. And he's just slandering the subject. Okay, economics, how it works, 6. Okay, it's not one of my most coherent videos, I'll concede, but I'm going to argue some of the text and some of these people, because it's just bullshit, some of the comments. Frank and God and God Zombies, just a response to Professor Anton's, you know, they're just making a god out of the pieces. Just taking religious crap and making a god out of it. Taking cultural norms and making a god out of it. You know, because for thousands of years we considered something sacred, it must be sacred. Even the life word, L-I-F-E, little fluffy, happy butterflies, birds singing, bullshit. You know, we don't have an accurate perception of these things, and they're just godifying the religious traditions, essentially, the religious dogma. Even that of eating animals, like we somehow have dominion over animals. They're accepting God's judgment that we should have dominion over them. Not that we should be, you know, totally concerned with their welfare. No, that we should just control them for our purposes. Fuck that. Economics, how it works. That's another economics. That's on YouTube. Pretty good. That one wasn't bad. This 4 was even the best one of the series, I think. That's the What the Fuck. Stickcam MP3. This was a pretty good Stickcam and Buddhist. This was about the Friday Stickcam and then the Buddhist stuff, which is almost like the God Zombie. I think that's where I invented God Zombies and Goddenstein. Economics video. White People Laugh at Atheists. That's version 7. So I'll probably do some more of those. Those are pretty good videos. This is another economics video, but it wasn't in the series of economics videos. This is not numbered. But anyway, so yeah, it's all the same old stuff, blah blah blah. But you know, some good stuff in there. So anyway, enough. Till next time, YouTubers.